Hello to you beautiful people. My name is Noah Lakshmi and I'm here to elevate humanity for a better world. We are doing this one by one and I like to use the astrology, what I like to see as wisdom, as ancient wisdom of our cosmos that are helping us to navigate through this crazy experience we call life. And these are great times of transformation, and there's so many shifts that we are experiencing individually and in the world. And if this is the first time you're watching me, welcome. And I always appreciate all the support and the love. And if you are interested in doing more of a personal work with me, so before I dive into this week's update and cosmic weather report, you can find me on my website, noahlakshmi.com, and I do astrology readings as well, soul signature readings to go into your chart and see what's going on for you in your own life. But also what I'm really passionate about is helping people to move through transformation in their life and to go from point A to point B and upgrade your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual connection. So if you are interested in this type of work and to go a little bit deeper or a lot deeper, then find me on my website, noahlakshmi.com, and I would love to talk to you. All right, so now we're going to dive into this week, and before I turned the camera on, I was like looking at the chart, kind of feeling into what would I like to convey in this video. And there's a few things that that I feel called to share. But there's a little bit of a strained energy today, I'll be honest with you, at least for me. I'm recording this on Tuesday, it's October 18th. And we just came out of the full moon. We had the full moon this weekend on Saturday, 3 days ago, and it was a very electrifying full moon with Uranus, the planet Uranus in the picture, conjuncting the moon. And the thing with Uranus is that awakener, the liberator, the element of shock and surprise. And nothing that shocking happened in my life necessarily, and for you as well. But it activates something. It activates a deeper process of awakening, and the opening of our third eye as well, with Uranus in the picture, and which is on a spiritual level, us deepening our ability to see, like to really see beyond the veil, and beyond the veil of illusion and deception, which can be very felt right now. We still have the south node of the moon for another few months until 2017, conjuncting the planet Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So there is this whole process for us individually and collectively, the process of moving away from illusions and deception, and it can be an inner illusion, something that you are imposing on yourself, or maybe just unconsciously living in a place of some type of illusion, delusion, deception of yourself and other people. And we definitely seeing it on a global level, and with the US elections. I know it's such a charged topic and I'm not going to go there, but those two candidates definitely show us the state of our collective consciousness and just how delusional things are, and the lies and the deception, and that it's time for that, again, awakening. And I talked about it last week as well, and Uranus is the great awakener. So there's still a little bit of an opposition between the sun and Uranus, and the sun is the light of all awareness. It's our soul, it's our ego, it's the drive within you. So maybe you are facing some type of an opposition in your life between your ego, your awareness, and what is hidden and maybe is not in your awareness, and it's coming up to your conscious level, this great awakening that is happening. And when we do wake up, and when we choose to wake up, there's the truths that we need to face. And what I really want to talk about when it comes to the truth and the truths that need to be faced, really in the realm of relationships, because it's such a big theme for us. With the sun still in Libra, and we've got the planet Mercury in Libra, and Jupiter is going to be in Libra for another 12 months. So we are looking at the whole topic of relationships, me and the other, balance, equality, justice, and all those things that we get to encounter when we are in relation to other people. And it's all relationships in your life. It's just being in relations to other people. The planet Venus, which rules Libra, and it's the planet of relationships, just moved into a new sign earlier this morning, actually. And Venus was in Scorpio for the last few weeks. And with everything else going on, Venus in Scorpio is that depth, the intimacy with yourself. And in order for us to see the truth, and in order for us to face the truth, we need to be vulnerable, and we need to be able to be intimate with ourselves and with another person. And when I say intimacy, I don't necessarily talk about sexual intimacy, just the intimacy of into me you see. So going back to that realization of truth is how much are you willing to be vulnerable with yourself and to admit certain truths and to be honest, radically honest with yourself and another person. And with Venus in Scorpio, there's just that it can feel very, very intense, and especially when we are talking about facing another person, and especially if that person is somebody that is very close to you, and especially in partnerships and romantic partnerships, that a lot of people are feeling this right now. And I have so many people in my immediate circle and just clients that I talk to that, the subject of relationship hasn't been very easy, because there has been my memory card was full, so I'm going to continue where I left off. I think I was talking about what has been happening, this great awakening of individuals, and when we summon the courage to really go deep within and get really honest and intimate with ourselves and with another person and the things that come up, then we have this realization of, well, I don't really know if this relationship is something that I can continue. If you based your relationship on, or relationships on delusions and illusions and deceptions, those are all coming up. We can have the sense of maybe pursuing something or being in a relationship that is based on ego needs, just really more egoic stuff that are moving you and motivating you. And then there's the moment of stopping and reevaluating, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, this is really not my truth. This is not what I really want. This is not serving my soul. That's the great awakening that a lot of people are realizing. It's not really from a soul place. It's like social conditioning or fear, false sense of security, all those things that sometimes people are driven to make choices based on that. And I'm not saying, right, wrong, it's not up to me. I'm not the judge here. I'm just conveying the message of what I'm feeling. And if we are wanting and motivated to elevate motivated to elevate our consciousness and humanity, then this is at least what the astrology is saying. It's time to wake up and to make choices that are aligned with your soul's truth and not just your egoic, fear-based needs and desires. And with Venus moving into Sagittarius, it can be very, very exciting. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. It can be a little bit all over the place, so that's something to be a bit mindful. With Sagittarius, it's just like wanting to explore and again, all over the place. So to utilize Venus and Sagittarius from a place of Sagittarius is also the truth seeker. Sagittarius is the new horizons, its growth, its expansion, and the fact that we've got Jupiter in the sign of Libra. So Jupiter is associated with Sagittarius, and Libra is associated with Venus. So now we moving into this, like, Jupiter and Venus, with the signs that they're in, are very much connected and related and relating to each other in a very, very beautiful and profound way that can bring about a lot of growth and expansion that is based on truth and new horizons. That's my interpretation of that. In the next few weeks, when Venus is in Sagittarius, we really have an opportunity to, the value system too with Venus is to know, like, based on truth, what is my value system, what are my values, and the values that are based on what is balanced and what brings harmony to myself, to the other person, to the relationship, to the world, and find those themes working in your life in a way that brings you to more growth and expansion that is based on new horizons rather than old fears, old illusions, old deception, or whatever it is, things that maybe you haven't wanted to face, and now it's that, okay, I'm facing it, and I'm going to align my values with my truth. I'm going to align my values and my truth with all of my relations, starting with myself. I'm going to align my values and my truth with my growth and where I'm going. So this is something very important to look into and to have the courage to face your truth, and especially when it comes to your relationships and taking the action steps to do the right thing for you. And the right thing is always the thing that brings you more harmony, that you feel in balance, when you feel at peace within your body and within your life. And that's the direction that you wanna aim for. And then, we are Mars and Pluto. That's the other aspect that I want to bring in here, which is extremely, extremely powerful. And we're going to experience it. They're already close. I mean, we're already feeling it. Mars is 1 degree away from Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. In 2 days, on the 20th, they're going to be in complete conjunction, and we're going to feel it until the 27th. So the intensity is definitely building up. Both of those planets are super powerful. We're looking at Pluto, which is transformation, death, and rebirth. It's power. And Mars is the masculine planet. It's action. It's fire. It can be a war. What I'm seeing with Mars meeting Pluto, the first thing that I'm seeing with it is how the masculine is approaching or coming into this place of such immense transformation with everything else that Mars has gone through this past year. Diving deep and cutting cords and really eliminating things and old belief systems. And I see Mars as the representative of the masculine energy, right? So with all the work that I do as well, work that I do with men and helping the masculine, helping men to come to a place of more balance and embracing their own emotions and their own heart. Mars meeting Pluto for me is all about that. The masculine is up for a huge transformation, and masculine, when it comes to if you are a man, then yes, and also just for us women, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, just in general, there's a new masculine that is emerging or is wanting to emerge, and this is Mars meeting Pluto, this transformation that wants to happen within the masculine. How do we define masculine, and what is the true power of masculine power? What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean what masculine power means? There's a lot of things that are just needing to fall apart when it comes to how do we define what masculine power is. And it's something for you to look within yourself, regardless if you are a man or a woman. What does your masculine energy looks and feels like? How do you want to express your masculine energy? Because the masculine can be very strong and dominant, and how do you want to use that dominant strength? it can be very destructive or it can be very constructive. That's the power, that's the Pluto power. And with Mars in the picture is, how do you utilize this fire within you? How do you utilize your ability to penetrate? And that is not something to take lightly. As a woman, as a man, doesn't matter. How do we use this power of action that we've been given? What kind of action steps can you take in your life that bring you more power? And what action steps that you are maybe contemplating or considering that are actually taking your power away? Those are all questions to ask yourself and to examine and to look within. We are looking at Mars and Pluto, so of course there's the sexuality aspect that comes with it, which is one of the greatest powers that we've been given. And there's a lot of transformation that needing to happen in that department of how do we relate to sexuality, how do we use our sexual energy, which is immensely undereducated in our society, and there's just so much ignorance about it. And it's not just men and women, it's all of us. And the fact that we see so much violence and that we see sexual violence in the world is because there's a lot of suppression and there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to that. And people are just walking around not really knowing what to do and how to express themselves in a healthy and balanced way. And then we see it as violence in the world and a lot of injustice. So, it all starts from within, to look within yourself and know yourself, know your powers. And your sexual power is something that is a gift, but we need to know how to use it. And the thing, we've got Mars and Pluto in Capricorn, and Capricorn is responsibility and its maturity and its structure. So we are all being asked to step into a level of more responsibility with our own powers, whatever the power may be. More maturity when it comes to our powers. It's not suppression. There's a big difference between suppressing something and being mature and responsible with it. And talking about sexual energy, big difference between suppression of that energy and using it responsibly. Mars can be very reactive and very fiery and very impulsive. And coming to meet Pluto, you can feel that maybe brewing within you. There's the big impulses coming in, instincts, and it's very important to not react but respond, rather than just, that's the responsibility aspect of our energies. We don't have to react. We need to learn how to respond. And that's when we become responsible. So it's not about suppressing it, but it's being mature and being responsible. I keep saying it over and over again with the gifts that we've been given. All these powers that we have as humans, those are gifts that we've been given. And it's up to us how we choose to use it. And especially, again, when it comes to the relationship dynamics and how we relate to other people, we can see a lot of damage that is being done within relationships, within families, within communities, within our society, just because the individuals, right? It all comes back to the individual. The individuals are confused and scared, are uneducated, suppressed, all of the above, and all of those things that we are just being asked and being guided and being invited by the universe to just break free from. Uranus, the awakener, the liberator. And it takes all of us to do it. So with this configuration that is happening this week, it might feel intense. It might feel, you might feel powerless to some degree. And it's all coming up for you to find your own power and to find your own strength, and to know that you have that ability to make your choices, and that you have the ability to make choices that are aligned with your truth, that are aligned with your true power, that are aligned with your soul. That's what Pluto is. Pluto is the soul. And Mars can be like our egoic desires. How do we bring the two together and merging them as one? And it can feel intense. So I want to invite you to seek the guidance if you need to seek the help if you need to. Take a breath before you choose to act. If it feels impulsive, if it feels like you are triggered, if it feels like you are being reactive, take a moment to just settle down instead of just, go for it. That's my invitation for you today. And that is my message. So have a beautiful week, everyone, and enjoy your own self-exploration. As always, I'm sending you so much love and so much light on your journey, and thank you for choosing to show up and do this work as an individual, knowing that we are elevating humanity one by one with this immense dedication that we have for ourselves and humanity at large. Again, if you'd like to book a reading with me or do some personal work in helping you to upgrade your entire life and your well-being, then please find me on my website, noalakshmi.com. You can find me on Facebook. Subscribe to these videos if you are liking this information. It helps a lot. Share the videos so we can spread the message of love and light and help those on the same journey as we are. Sending you so much love. See you next time. Sat Nam.